Well, Therese, thank you for coming along to our little YouTube video specials in preparation, helping people to prepare for the Beta Bay. And congratulations on being one of our previous Beta Bay winners. So 2011, I believe, is that right?
Yeah, 2011.
And you were quite young at the time.
Yeah, I think I was 16
Wow.
when I won, yeah.
You know, I haven't looked at the lineup, but I think you might be one of our youngest winners.
Ah, yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, so that was pretty amazing at the time. I know I felt particularly pleased for you and definitely proud because you're part of our training squad for a long time. But there's a little bit of a dark horse win. You'd been preparing in the background. What made you sort of decide to go for the win?
Well, yeah, it was unexpected, but I think on the day I just felt energetic, I felt motivated, I was excited, I just felt good within myself. So towing the line, I guess I sort of had a feeling that it was going to be my day. I can't really attribute it to anything other than, yeah, it just felt right.
Yeah, it's interesting because over the years, and you know, I've competed for a long time. I must admit there are days like that. They don't come along very often, and you really have to cherish them. So yeah, that's interesting that that you were able to do that. And what was the sort of feeling on how the race went? Did you have a little challenge through the course?
I wish I could say that I did, but.
You just took off and left them all behind.
Yeah, it felt good from start to finish. That was, yeah, that race is probably the pinnacle of my running career. It just.
I hope not. You're too young for that.
But no, yeah, it just felt right the whole way through. I just felt strong. I felt like I was getting stronger and stronger. And when I got to the 10K mark, and Rob Beardsley was there with the watch or the clock, and I saw what time I was going through at, and. Yeah, I knew that I kind of, yeah. It was
that you had it in the bag.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And yeah, it's just a lovely thing to have it on your running resume. So, you know, and you certainly didn't leave it there. You've had lots of years, well, it's 8 years now that you've kept running and being very, very focused on different goals. So how have you sort of felt towards some of the things that you've been doing? Like, which is your favourite?
I just enjoy running in itself. To me, I feel like it's such a privilege to be able to run, just to have the physical capacity to be able to run, and because I have such a wonderful group that I'm able to train with. We have such a fantastic running community on the Central Coast. So for me, my primary motivation is just to, I don't know, keep running.
Be fit, enjoy being fit.
It's just pure enjoyment, and yeah, if I can enter some races here and there and do well, or you know, get a PB, then that's fantastic.
Does
that's
entering the race like help with your motivation?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I've just entered the Sydney Morning Herald half marathon, which is in May. So that spurred on some motivation to start doing longer runs. But yeah, for the most part, it's just there's such a great running community here on the Central Coast, so that's probably my primary motivation. I just don't want to miss out, and I love catching up with everybody who runs. So
that's fantastic, and there's a few groups that you're involved with, so tell us a little bit about the groups.
So I run with your group obviously on a Tuesday night when I'm around, and then Terrigal Trotters on a Saturday morning, and then I also catch up throughout the week with my training partner Alyssa. So yeah.
And Parkrun, I've seen you at Parkrun.
I do Parkrun, yes.
And you're a bit of a dog person, I think. Have you brought your dogs to Parkrun?
Yes. Yeah.
Not such a success story?
No, I'd rather. No more of that, actually.
So whilst they're very welcome, they might be better off being trained alone.
Yeah. Ruby's helped me get a couple of Parkrun PBs, but yeah, with some sacrifice and compromise, I would say. So
you probably ran a kilometre extra knowing if you were towing a dog.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And I guess a lot of people that are training on this program that our friend Mel McDonald has put together, you know, some of them will be in uncharted territory, like they're new to running. And there was a time way back when you were new to running. So do you have any advice to people trying to help get ready for the Beta Bay?
I think talk to as many people as you can who are experienced in running. That always helps. Learning from other people, learning from their mistakes, and of course their successes. That helped a lot. I very much at the beginning of my running career enjoyed hearing from other people about what works for them and what doesn't work for them. Otherwise, consistency is most certainly imperative, and of course having a really good pair of shoes makes all the difference. It made a huge difference for me. So that would probably...
Because you had a few injuries along the way.
Yeah, I had a lot of injuries. And it's only been in these past couple of years that I've really settled into finding exactly what works for me. So I guess trial and error.
Talking to people, finding out what the options are, and then trying to settle on something that's going to work.
Yeah, that helps definitely.
So with your training over the years, actually recently you've had a couple of interesting trips away.
Yes.
And I think you actually ran a very hot marathon. In Hanoi?
No, I had a trail race in Sapa in Vietnam.
Right.
Yeah, the half marathon did not go to plan at all. The trail race in Sapa went very, very well. That was really enjoyable run.
So I believe you won that one?
Yes.
Yes. And that was there's quite a few people watching, a bit of a thrill to come in.
Yes. Yeah, the Vietnamese were very excited to see a blonde white girl running through the streets of Sapa in Vietnam. That was very exciting. Actually, I got the Australian flag, and it was very cool actually to feel as though I was somewhat representing where I'm from.
And that was just a goal that you set yourself. You were over there doing some training, and it's amazing where these events can lead you, and you had no idea that was going to happen.
No, that's probably my favourite part about going overseas, because I like to travel, I like going overseas, but the thing that I get the biggest kick out of is exploring new places when I'm overseas through running. Yeah, I really enjoy doing that.
No, that's a fantastic way to see new places too. And so getting back to being on the Central Coast, and when you started up, let's go back a little bit. You were, I think you started off liking triathlon, and then it kind of went through a few stages of track, and then back to triathlon, and then so just talk us through a little bit of how because I know parents often. A big part of whether you can continue on in a sport, because particularly on the Central Coast you have to get to the venues. So just talk us through a little bit of your early time.
So as you know, my mum was great in driving me around to all the different events, but so were you. So I was very, very privileged in that I had a lot of support and people encouraging me and physically transporting me to these events. So I think, it's, I don't know, I can't really comment. I was just very, very lucky to have very supportive people in my life.
Did you get a lot of school competition? Did you prefer the competition that came through the athletics?
I preferred school, probably, And I think there was, just because I had the support from the school as well as the support from, or outside of school, I guess, from the running club and from my family, so there was just that added support.
So were there any particular teachers that you remember encouraged you, or were you encouraging the teachers?
I think the whole school really backed me, actually. I was very lucky in that.
So which school was that?
Wadalba Community School, yes.
Give a big shout out to Wadalba.
I was very lucky in that they gave me a lot of credit for my achievements, which that was really, really nice. Because I know that's not as common of a thing, I guess.
I think over the years during my competition, it's often about sharing it with other people. And as you said when you first started, that, you know, being able to do it, knowing there's a lot of people out there that maybe can't or have, not so much that they've chosen not to, just that they physically can't do it. And you sort of realise that your achievements are a little bit larger than yourself. And being able to share them is really a very special thing.
Yeah, most definitely. I think I would have to say that I would attribute 90% of my achievements to the people around me having brought me up and supported me, encouraged me. I've been very privileged.
One thing's interesting with your mum, you didn't get her running at all, did you?
No. That'll never happen.
No. Well, then it's not for everybody. We know that. But she gets out and has a walk over.
Yeah. And that doesn't, never really bothered me. I had so much else going on I had so many other people that I could, you know, bounce off and
I remember trying to get my father out for a run, and he would only go in the night time, and we were running along the footpath, and he was like, I don't really mind doing this. And because it was dark and there was a low overhanging branch from a tree, and he ran straight into it and knocked himself flat backwards, and he never went running again.
That was the end of his running career right then and there.
So what would be the worst time for you in terms of either motivation or, you know, a bad time when you were injured, you just didn't feel like it was working?
I must admit, I've never really had a moment in my running career where I've ever felt like that. I had some wonderful advice a few years ago, and this is why I think it's important to listen to other people and hear what works for them and what doesn't, from Susie Woodbury. And she said to me that her training regime, because I used to be so structured, you know, I used to have my set days on what I would do. And she said to me one day when I was complaining about how the structure was working, or the routine, she said, my training schedule is, if I feel like running, I go for a run. If I don't feel like going for a run, I don't go. And so I really took that on board, and just taking that pressure off yourself really did make a difference for me, I think.
For your enjoyment.
Exactly. But as I said, throughout my whole running career, I've been so privileged to be surrounded by a wonderful running community that's always kind of kept me motivated regardless of how I was performing at the time. It's wonderful to perform at a very high level, but for me, running in itself is just pure enjoyment regardless of how fast I'm going. So
that's a great message, isn't it, for everybody out there? And even if they're following this Beta Bay, seriously looking for a goal, you still have to enjoy it, don't you?
That is it, of course. That is, I think that's got to be
the pinnacle of the program.
It's got to be the most important part of it.
Make sure you're enjoying what you're doing. There might be a few tough days that you have to get through, and it's...
Oh, of course, don't skimp on your training program.
You've got to find that fine line. Something that works.
I mean, admittedly, for me, it wasn't until a couple of years into that very structured training program that I was following that I decided to change things up and live by that kind of message. If you feel like it, do it. If you don't, then don't.
And I guess you've had that privilege of being involved in some sort of structure with your program for many, many years. So you've still got the capacity within your running to have a long run, have a fast run. And it's not just whether or not you even run, but it's the fact that I'll do a long run today because I did a fast run last week. So you're still in some sort of a elongated structure.
Yes, most certainly. I mean, admittedly, ever since I started running, which would have been a long time ago now, since I was
maybe 20 years.
Because
you were young. Young when you started.
I don't think I've ever changed my Tuesdays. That is always my intervals. And I don't think I've ever changed my Thursdays. Saturdays are also that's also a fast run, and Sundays are
long run.
Always going to be a long run. That's nothing. That'll never change.
No, and there's a lot of flexibility within what you do on on a designated
Oh,
long
of course.
day.
Yeah, but those the days, and I've stuck by that for a very, very long time, no matter where I am in the world.
Well, that's great, because you certainly are an ambassador for the sport, Therese, and we're having you as part of our running community on the coast.
Yes.
And we're very proud of your achievements, but just the fact that you show such enjoyment in what you do and what running can do for people.
Yeah, exactly. It can do a lot. I think it has some incredible power. Running does.
Well, wish everybody good luck with their training.
Good luck everybody for Bay to Bay.
And we hope we see everybody in that beautiful Mariners field.
Yes,
down the finishing
uninjured,
chute.
happy. That's the way. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for watching. If you could like this video and subscribe to our YouTube videos, I do believe that there'll be a new video posted every week.
And we'd love for you to keep watching.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.